Hello everyone, welcome back to LOK. We just got to the advanced puzzles at the end of chapter... Which chapter is this? 3? Yeah, we're almost at chapter 4. Okay, advanced puzzles. How will we do with these? So this is where we've learned about the tar word, which lets us fill in all the cells of a particular letter. Okay, so how is this going to work? What can we do at the beginning? I see a lock. I do see a tar going backwards. Sneaky tar there. I also, yes, a tar and lock I think is all I've got. Oh no, and a tlack. One of the problems with this is that because these are all just made up words, except I guess tar. Tar means thanks. Because they're all made up words, it's they don't stick out as much as words you'd be familiar with. But anyway, there's a tlack there as well. So there's tlack, tlack, lock, and tar. Ooh, this could be difficult. Where do I want to start? There's going to be something about the ends of this or something that are going to be difficult. Because if I just do tlack, tlack, lock, well, okay, then there's not enough things to rub out, right? So I'm definitely not doing tlack, tlack, lock. Because each of those would require 2, so that's 4, and then 1 from that 5, there's only 4 remaining. So I'm not doing tlack, tlack, lock. I'm only doing 1 tlack. I may not be doing the lock at all. How many potential tars are there here? Is this going to be actually T-A, 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 and then L's and O's and K's? Oh, that's totally what it's going to be. It's totally going to be there. So T-A, what would I get rid of to make another tar? Get rid of the L's. And then we've got another tar here. At that point, so those 2 are gone, the L's are gone. Oh, we've got 2 tars there. In fact, at that point, we're done, aren't we? Pretty sure. Shall I do it? I'll do it on the plastic, just to make sure. So, tar, get rid of the L's. At this point, we've got... Oh, no, there's another L there. At this point, we've got 2 tars we can do. So let's save that one, get rid of the K's. And then we've got that tar, get rid of the O, yep. Cool. Just wiping the plastic. Okay, so that was tar here. Get rid of the L's. Get rid of this L. Tar here. It really doesn't matter which way I do these tars, does it? Tar, get rid of the K's, yeah, it doesn't matter. I feel like they could have made that so it did matter. Tar, get rid of the K's. Tar, get rid of the O. Should be fine, I think so. At some point, is it worth me checking the rule just to make sure I'm on the right track? Or do I just keep going, hoping that I'm getting everything correct? I don't know. It seems to be going fine so far. Okay, 27. Got lots of letters here. We've got J's, K's, D's, T's, L's, A's, O's, M's. So letters that aren't part of words. M, J, D, right? M, J, D. There's 3 J's. There's 2 M's. There's 3 D's. This puzzle is 3D. There's a tar. What other words do we have right now? Do we have a tlack anywhere? Tlack, almost. T, flat. Wait, how many T's are there? 1, 2, 3, right? Yeah, so there's no tlack right now. There's no lock either. L, L, L. No lock either. So we have to be doing tar. Do we have any other words so far? We're on chapter 3, so we've got 3 words. So tar, is there anything I can do? And there's 1, 2, 3 T's. So there's 2 tars that I can do right now. That one and that one, I believe. Okay, so then it's a case of what letters do I want to get rid of? Although, okay, so we've worked out there are three letters that aren't part of words. But I can't be getting rid of all of those with, like, are there potentially 3 tars? There are potentially 3 tars. Tar, tar, tar. But that would leave, that potentially would work actually. Tar, tar, tar. Let's say we did tar, I got rid of the L's. Tar, tar. Got rid of something else and something else. Maybe the D's and the J's or the M's. Does that end up leaving... Well, if I've got rid of the L's, then I don't have any LOKs left. And also don't have any TLACs left. So at that point, this is unsolvable. So it's not tar, tar, tar. Right? Because in order to do tar, tar, I have to get rid of the L's. At that point, I can't do any other words. Yeah. Okay. So... Instead, I'm definitely going to need this. So let's put it on now. It's getting a bit scruffy. It's a bit better. So, let's use this pen. We've got 2 tars at the beginning. So it's just a case of what letters do I want to get rid of? Well, let's say I want another word. Well, if I do that, I've got another word, LOK. Right? And then I could get rid of something with that. Like maybe I'm getting rid of the... Okay, maybe I'm doing a tar, getting rid of a letter that I can't use in a word like D or J. Then doing LOK to get rid of one of these L's. Doing a tar to get rid of another one, to do another LOK somewhere. How many L's do we have? 1, 2, 3. Which of these could even be part of? Oh no, but we also have TLAC as well. Ooh, there's so many ways this could go. How to narrow it down. How many potential LOKs are there? Okay, so LOK 1, LOK none, LOK none. So there's at most 1 LOK. How many potential TLACs are there? T, L, there's a none from that one. T, there's 1 there, and there's 1 there. So that would get rid of, at most, if we use the LOKs and the TLACs, we'd get rid of at most 5 things. But we have like letters that aren't even in words. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But then if we did get rid of 5 of those letters, like the M, M, and 3 J's, then a tar could be used to get rid of the D's. M, M, 3 J's. So what am I suggesting? Like TLAC. Well, I'm not going to get a tar if I... No, I could. Tar. There's no reason I couldn't do tar, LOK, TLAC, and TLAC, right? That makes sense. So the tar would get rid of one of the 3's. So J, 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 for example. The LOK then get rid of like an M, TLAC. Oh, they need to be... Is this going to work? Interesting. They need to be adjacent for the TLAC. So maybe the TLACs come first. Let's do that. So tar. Get rid of the... Will I do the J? Maybe that's fine. J, J, J. Then TLAC to get rid of the get rid of two things. What two things? D. Ooh, okay. So then what's going to matter here is that I need to leave adjacent things open. 4 of the things need to be adjacent to each other in some way, but not the lock. So the M and the M need to be done by well, that M is never going to have something adjacent. It has to be done by the lock. Okay, so why don't I do... There's no reason I couldn't do that first, right? Like, tar... Get rid of the D's, maybe? Lock, get rid of the M. Slack, get rid of these two. Slack, get rid of these two. That works, right? I think that works. Okay. All right, where were we? My camera ran out of battery, so I had to charge it, and now we're getting back to it. So I just drawn this on here. So I just figured out this, and now I've forgotten everything. It was beginning with the tar, getting rid of the D's, beginning with the tar, getting rid of the D's, then using the lock to get rid of this M that could never be adjacent to anything else, and then using the 2 clacks to get rid of the remaining adjacent things. I think that's how it worked. Okay, so tar to get rid of the D's. So is it important? I need to try and understand, is it important to get rid of the D's instead of the J's, for example? Let's say I got rid of the J's. Well, yes, then the M would have nothing to be adjacent to. That's really interesting, actually. Like, the letters that you want to get rid of depends on whether you're leaving adjacencies for later. So got rid of the D's, then lock to get rid of the M, since that could never be adjacent to something if we're getting rid of the 2 slacks. And then the 2 slacks. So that one can get rid of the MJ. And then this one can get rid of the JJ. Lovely. I hope I'm getting the rules right. This is one of those things where, like, what if I'm just doing it totally wrong? Like, maybe we should double check everything that it's said so far. I mean, pretty sure I'm right. If you find the word lock spelled out, well, I know how lock works for sure. Slack has a lock. If you find slack spelled out, you can black out the cells. If you do, you must black out 2 additional unblacked cells in the grid that are adjacent. Same meaning of adjacent, though, for sure. And then I guess I decided on the rule for tar. So, I mean, like, the other option is I look at the back and find out, but I feel like I shouldn't do that. Right? It's definitely much better to, well, there might be other rules on the same page or something. I don't want to spoil them. I think I should just keep going. Okay. Chapter 4. Cells with the letter X are conductors. What on earth does that mean? Also, what's going on over here? What are we making here? Oh, electricity. I see. We're making electricity. Cells with letter X are conductors. Does that mean they basically just allow adjacency through them? I guess probably. So this allows me to do lock without that being filled in. And then I can fill in that because I did lock. It's going to have to be what it means, right? Right? Whoa, okay, this lets me go around corners. No way, that's fascinating. So I can do slack through the conductor. Whoa, that's totally what that's going to be. So, oh no. Oh no, so the L, O, and K, yeah, I just need to do lock and then lock. Ooh. But that won't work. Okay, this is interesting. So a shaded in thing behaves differently, right? Because that just means I can skip over it, but a conductor means I can change direction. That is really interesting. So if I did lock here, which I could do because the x allows me to change direction, and then filled in that x, I would not be able to do lock here because then I'd be turning around in a shaded space, which I think would be wrong. Probably this page over here is going to show me that more directly. So what I'm going to say is I need to do lock here, shading that x, and do lock here and shading that x. Because while these are two x's, I can do this. Oh no, okay. So I don't shade in the x's, I'm doing lock. But I've used the x's as conductors, and I'm using that lock to shade in this. And then I can do lock here using that x as a conductor. Shading that x. Interesting. These three puzzles cannot be solved. Understand why. It is especially important to internalize the lesson of the top puzzle since it can easily be forgotten. Ooh, scary. LO. Okay, so the lesson it's telling me from the first puzzle is that I can change it doesn't did I learn this here as well? No, I did not. Okay, it's that I can change direction going into the conductor. It's not just after the conductor. Right, so again, lock. And then fill in the x. Okay, can easily be forgotten. Especially important to internalize it. Okay. What do I do to make it internalized? How do I make that something that's just embedded in my neurons and I can never forget? That might be difficult. Okay, so what's the next lesson? Oh no, okay. These cannot be solved. Whoops. These cannot be solved. I'm going to use my eraser for the first time. Hopefully the eraser works okay. That's fine. These cannot be solved, so I cannot turn after the O. Oh no, I've just internalized the wrong thing. Okay, I cannot turn after the O. I have to go in the same direction. I can only turn after the X. Okay, I almost learned the exact opposite of what it wanted to teach me. All right, so then why can't this be solved? Blank space interrupts. I mean, that would make sense. Right. What's going on with the T and the A here? Like, what could I do here? There's no tlack. There's a lock, but the X is like, I guess it's just saying you can't jump from one X to another. It's not like a teleporter, which is fine. I mean, even if I could, this would still be unsolvable in many other ways, right? Yeah, like what's with the T and the A? It's like it's suggesting there's going to be a tlack or something. But what the L's over there? Lock? Shade in one thing. What would they shade in after that? Oh, I see tar. Okay. Lock, then it would be tar, and then I shade in the X's. And that would be solvable if I could jump that gap, which I cannot. Okay, understood. Okay, so here, what are you telling me? Is this about not being able to, like... Whoa, okay, interesting. So L, O, X, 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 that's now shaded in, so I can jump over it and do lock, right? Which would shade that in, and then I could do tar. But that's unsolvable simply because there's nothing left after... Oh no, the X is left. Right. So what you're telling me is that the shaded in thing doesn't count. Like the fact that I'm going to shade in the O doesn't count for adjacency while I'm shading in that word. So I can't shade in LOK. Right? It's showing me that I can't do a loop like that. Interesting. Those are going to be hard to remember, to be honest. I have to go into the X in the same direction. That's kind of how I would have assumed it was going to work anyway. But I then thought this was teaching me the opposite. And then can't teleport. I wouldn't have expected to be able to. But also, shadedness doesn't count until the word is done. Whoa. All right. So, puzzle 32. Oh dear. Okay. So, presumably I'm doing a tar or a tlack. Now, I can do a tlack going around in a loop here. That's probably what it wants me to do. And then fill in those two and do tar and do all the X's. That makes sense. So tar's going to be really useful for getting rid of the X's. So I think it's T into the X, which allows me to change direction. L into the X, which allows me to change direction. A into the X that allows me to change direction. K, and then I get to fill in two things that are adjacent to each other. So what I want to be able to do is tar next. Oh, I wasn't supposed to fill in the X's as I went. I mean, I'm going to fill them in a second anyway. So imagine they're not filled in. Fill in these two things because they're adjacent. Then do tar into the X and rotate. Turn in the X to do tar, and then fill in all the X's. Imagine I hadn't done them yet. Yes. Okay, I'm gonna keep scribbling those X's in, aren't I, by mistake? Okay, 33. We have a bunch of X's. Ooh, it's gonna be so hard to find the things we can do. It looks like we're gonna do another tlack or a tar. We might be gonna do a tar. Actually, because I can't see a way that I would. Oh no, I can see a tlack here. Tlack to fill in. Ooh, I can see there being another tlack here. So tlack like that, fill in those two. Tlack like that, fill in those two. That works for me. Does that work for me? Then the X's are still a thing. So I do need to do the tar eventually to clean up the X's. Tlack, fill in those two. And then there's these two X's are connected at that point. Tlack to fill in. I guess I want the tar still, right? So maybe I fill in two X's and then use the tar to fill in the remaining X. That could work. Okay, I think that's what it is. So don't fill in the X. Tlack like that, and then fill in two things. And I want to connect these two together. So I'm going to fill in these two blanks. I guess the tar could fill in the blanks as well. But yeah, now this works, right? TL, use the X as a conductor to go across here, and then AK. I guess I can change direction after the X, that should be fine. And fill in two things, I can fill in the two X's, then do tar X. That should be fine. But then why would I not have done tlack? If I'd done tar first. No, yeah. Tar first, fill in those two blanks. The X's need to be gotten rid of at some point. So it would have to be the tar that's doing it. Yeah, I think this is the only way to do it. So, tlack, like this, into the X, across the slime, into the other X, turn, up to here. There we go. And because we did a tlack, we get to fill in two things that were adjacent. Well, we should do the X and the X. In fact, I could do the T and the A, but then I'd never get rid of the X's. So we'll do these two X's. And then we've got tar. I can fill in remaining x. I think that works. I don't think there's any issues with that. Okay, 34. Got a bunch of x's here, so there's a bit of a loop going on. But as we've learned, loops are not amazing. What a V? Is that a V? I think it's a V. Oh, potential for a lock here, maybe. But as we've learned, sure, I can do this. Oh, I might be able to do this because it's not using the shadedness. It's using just the conductiveness. So I might be able to just do lock. Like that, right? I don't see any reason why not. Like, that's not what the other thing was teaching me. The other thing was teaching me that I can't use the shadedness. Not that I can't use the X twice. I was thinking about going all the way around like that, but it's faster to just go like that. So I think I could do lock. What would they then shade in? I guess ultimately I want a tar eventually. Ah, that's interesting. So yeah, because of all the X's, I'm going to want a tar. There's a T and an A there. Now this means that I'm actually using the X's as conductiveness to get to here. And then I'm going to get rid of the V with the tar. No, I'm going to get rid of the X's with the tar. So how does the V get got rid of? Using the lock. Lock gets rid of the V. Then these are connected. Yeah, okay. So L, through the connectiveness, turn after the X into the O. No, I do have to go all the way around so that I've got the direction going. So it's all the way around into the O this direction so that I can keep going this way through the connectiveness here to the K, and we'll use that to get rid of the V. Then we can use all this conductiveness again to make the tar. T to the X, turn, 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 through the slime to the A. So we've got tar. Oh my gosh. And then we can fill in all the X's. Whoa. Whoa, fascinating. Okay, next one is 35. What's happening here? I see we have a T and an A here. I bet we're connecting those. I bet we're connecting those. Or we're doing a tlack, I guess. It's possible. I see a lock that already exists. Just seeing the words is going to be hard now. Certainly not one here. There's also not one here except the lock. And those are the only T's. So is there another lock down here? L-O-X-K. There is. Because I'm going to change after the X. That's the only one. So there's two locks, effectively. As far as I can tell. There is an A. Ooh, this looks complicated. So at some point, like, these are going to need to get filled in. And we're going to be coming in and jumping to that, probably. Coming into this X and jumping to that. We don't want to go from an X to a K. Like, I wonder if we're like... Could we be filling in this and going T, X, through all of this to there to A, and it could be that T and that here that are connected? Lock. Okay, I could see T, L, A, K being connected. So that means filling in these two. I could believe that. But how would I fill in those two? Using a tar or no? Using two locks, I guess. But I'm not going to have two locks. L-O-X, I could turn, but then I end up here. But I'm pretty sure I want to use that K for that lock. Pretty sure I want to use that K for that lock. So L-O-K. Could fill in one of these. If it doesn't help me do the other lock. assuming I want to do 2 locks. Do I want to do 2 locks? And then tlack to fill in those 2, and then tar like this. But then that means having already got rid of these 3. Whoa. How's that going to happen? No, I got something wrong here for sure. I don't think there's 2 locks happening, is there? I do think that's the thing though. So filling in those 2. So is there another tlack I could do? So if I did do lock here, would that allow me to do a tlack? No. We'll lock here, T into there, but then we're straight to O. Oh no, hold on. Oh, ooh, interesting. So we might be doing lock. No. Lock, shading something in. Tlack. No. T2 X. We definitely don't want to go this way. T2 X. T to X. The right, but then the O's there. Oh, what if I shaded that in? To L. Well, we're not going to do tlack, are we? Interesting. These need to be filled in, these need to be filled in, which makes me think I'm doing 2 tlacks, but not necessarily. Or okay, tar is something I'm not thinking much about. But tar's kind of hard to do. Certainly can't happen from this T. Unless, like, well, it could. If all this was shaded in. But I'm pretty sure that's going to be a tlack. And it could happen from that T if all this was shaded. Or, I mean, that could also go that way. But these 2 would need to be shaded in. Should we start? I think if we start doing some with the marker pen on plastic sheets, it might become more apparent what's going on. We need to experiment a little bit. So, like, if we do start with lock, what would we fill in to do something useful? Nothing? Lock, no. Tlack, tar, nothing. Tlack, like filling one of these. But then I can't do like another lock. I do lot. So I don't think that actually goes anywhere if I do that. So instead, the other option is like a lock here. I can't turn there, so it would have to be like this. There's no tlacks I can do, no. It'd be like this. Although I shouldn't cover the X up. Be like LOK. Fill something in that lets me do a next word. I want to fill in 2 things, really. TL. TL. I'd have to skip over the O, so I'd have to rub that out. Which would let me get to the X. That'd be TLK. Which is also not good. What am I missing here? Or is there a tar I'm missing? Because if I could just fill in all the blanks, that'd be nice. If I could just fill in all the blanks, that would be nice. to get that T is never going to connect to A, so it has to be that T connecting to an A. But to get that T to that A, I have to just go through the blanks already. Or like across the L and the O. And then right, which is never going to... So I'd have to go that way. Or... It's going all the way around. Slack. Lock. Huh. So let's just do this one, just in case this does lead to something. If I do that lock, and then rub something else, what could help me here? T can now go to X. That'll be tall or lot. Yeah, nothing. TLX could turn around, but only skip over one thing. There's not like another lock I can do, right? No. There's an L here that I could potentially use for a lock. So then the only other words I can even start off with is the other lock down here, which is what I did. But I don't see where that goes. I get to shade in one thing only. It would have to be something that helps me do the tlack here, right? TLO tlock. Oh wait, there's another lock. Ah, okay, that's what I'm missing. There's another lock. So maybe shade in one of these. Do lock. Shade in another one. Then I've got tlack. To shade in two more. These two. Then tar and shade in the remaining X's. That works. That works. So, what was it? It was this lock, right? Lock. Don't shade in the X. Lock, shade in one thing. So we do one of these two blanks up here. And then we have a lock coming this way. Turn at the X, go that way. Lock, turn at the X, go that way. Fill in the other blank. Then we have tlack. Go into the X, turn, skip across the slime. X, turn, A, K. Which lets me fill in two, which will fill in these two. Then we can do T to the X, turn to the X, turn to the A. And then we can get rid of all the X's. All right. Ooh, that was tough. Just couldn't see that lock there. Whoa, we're not quite at the advanced puzzles yet. Well, I mean, 37 is advanced apparently. And then are we at the next chapter? We are. Okay, I'm going to leave it there though. I'm going to go to 36 next time and see how that goes. This is fascinating. Okay, see you then.